So this challenge probably took me the absolute longest time to finally get this time on. It's reinventing the Gogol and bringing her chaos, and there's not too many changes I have here. Just some slight optimizations to be able to take more advantage of World Tree Drop and some good RNG all around. For one, I have Fast Blade switched on Telos now, which doesn't actually come into use too much, but it's useful for Phase 5 of this fight more than anything else. And once again, World Tree Drop is on Zeke because he'll be able to stack up the additive a lot over these first 4 phases, which is going to do a lot of damage against Carlos later on. We're using Corbin to evade most of the attacks and deal with most of these phases as best as we can, and we're going to try to swap blades whenever we can outside of that to increase our damage further. So you're able to get 2 swaps in phase 2, and then another 2 swaps in this phase, and then the swaps are going to start coming in a little bit more frequently in these next 2 phases here. We swap back to Corbin once he's up in this challenge, and then after that, once we can topple the Wolf Master, we'll swap to Telos and topple him from there. And then when he gets launched, we're going to use Tor as level 1, and that'll end this fight, and we can swap back to Elma at the end of it. And that is 3 swaps in that phase for a total of 7 swaps so far. That gives us an 84% damage boost already on the World Tree Drop, and it's only going to go up from here. So now we're at 8 swaps, swapping back to Corvin again to deal with the Rogules and kill them as fast as possible. And then after that, we have time to quickly swap to Elmo before swapping to Telos, so that's going to be another swap. So now we do 3 swaps in this phase. Once again, the strategy is going to be Poppy's level 1 on this launch, and that's going to end this fight pretty quickly here. And we swap back to Telos. That's another 4 swaps. So we're at 11 swaps now, and that is 132% damage on our World Tree Drop stacked, which is now more than an Abyss Mass, so it's going to be doing more damage in this phase than anything else. There's no other additive source that would give us more damage. But that is not all. We have some blade swaps we can do in this one before even setting up the DOT. We can swap to Corvin for our 12th swap here to evade some attacks, hopefully, and charge up our arts to level 2. Charge up our special, I mean. After a while, we can swap back to Elma for her evasion art, and she's going to hit max affinity and give us an affinity max barrier for this fight, which will allow us to take some extra damage and be alright. Then we can swap to Telos to topple, and then back to Corvin to set up the damage over time effect on the launch. So that's 15 swaps before setting up the damage over time effect. And that is a 180% additive damage bonus, which is much higher than Divine Van Braces or Abyss Mask, along with giving us the added safety of not taking extra damage from the Abyss Mask. From here, it's just a matter of having our allies be able to combo him properly and getting the damage over time effect stacked up really quickly. And from there, it's just a bunch of Telos art spam away. He's going to enrage to Light Element and take massively increased Dark Element. We've explained this in the last time I did this challenge. And it's just a matter of watching out for a couple of the really annoying things he can do. I have a new strategy for dealing with Wild Wave, which I'm going to show off here. It doesn't work out exactly how I anticipate, but I'm able to carry through to finish the fight. I'm getting some good driver combo RNG here. It could have been a little faster, but I'm still getting it stacked up to max pretty quickly and not having any issues with my AI not doing what they're supposed to. So now that we have gotten him to enrage, we're doing a lot more damage on our arts now. So here's the Wild Wave. I swapped to Elma, use her evasion art, and I'm alright. Unfortunately, Torres somehow got caught in the AoE despite being behind Carlos, so he's going to be dead the rest of the time because I can't revive him. I have no party meter, and even if I had party meter, it'd be slow to not just keep using the arts. Murag actually topples at a really good time here to save us a little bit of time, and then we also get the Monado Vision on the Feral Beat coming up. So that allows me to just continue my art spam. Luckily for us, the Photon should last long enough for the rest of the fight, and then I can just keep using Berserker Slashes here and do as much damage as I can. So now the only thing I gotta worry about is dying. I still have my lifeline, and that's gonna end up coming in clutch later on, and even though I make a mistake when trying to use it. So what I plan to do is swap to Elma and use the evasion art before that last hit comes in, but I am bad, and that didn't work out how I wanted to. Fortunately for me, even though I did get my lifeline activated there, because of that, I don't get knocked back from the next hit, so I'm able to keep using arts with Elma and finish him off really quickly. Elma being a Dark Blade is very useful, because that means she'll also do increased damage to Carlos, and that makes we'll be able to still finish the fight, even if we have to swap to her to use her evasion art. And that went really well, a 351. With all the RNG involved in this challenge and how long this took to do, this is going to be a very difficult time to beat without, like, basically copying my strategy. And even if you did, it's going to take a lot of attempts, because it took me a lot of attempts, trust me. I'm very happy with how this went, and hope I never have to really do it again, honestly, because this was definitely a heck of a challenge to try to do. So as far as equipment, I think I already described the basic changes I've already done. The Zeke accessories are the exact same, where we've got the World Tree drop on him. Got Crimson Headband, of course, and I believe my last accessory is Noise Dampener for the extra art damage in all the phases. Telos and Corvin are set up to do as much damage as possible, just with the things they need to do damage with. And Morag and Tor are set up to be a little bit more supportive here, so we have the damage and such and consistency we need with Goliath Ring and Tachyon Scarf, increasing diver combo duration for a little bit of consistency. I've got instruments on Tor, so he gets his specials up when I need him in phase 3 and 4. I've got art recharge on Morag and Zeke, and I've got a little bit of it optimized for party meter in case I need it. And the other major change I did, I put HP max barrier on Elma, so when she hits max affinity in the Carlos phase, it'll give us a little bit of a lifeline there, so I don't have to worry about having Arts heal on Telos. And Fast Blade Switch on Telos lets me swap back to her quickly in phase 5 after using the evasion art on Carlos's Wild Wave, along with allowing me to get more Telos swaps in over the course of the run to get more World Tree drop stacks. I got night vision on basically everyone because Carlos and his agility is extremely high, so that's very important to basically have on everyone so you're able to hit him. And then Cutie Pie Stone's a really good augment in order to do a lot of immediate damage with the Earth combo. And I think that about covers it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and look forward to the last 2 challenge mode videos I currently have planned.